Hey guys, this is Chris, Natural Progressive. All right, I've got a really special treat today. I have someone who I really respect. He's one of the very first people I started following when I went down, as some people would call it, this rabbit hole. And he is here, and we are just going to organically talk about everything that's going on today. And it's changing really fast. Everything is going crazy. The environment, which is getting ignored, considering the coronavirus, but it has everything to do with the environment and what's happening there. So I'm very happy and pleased to have on with me today Kevin from Black Bear News. A very hard, warm welcome, Kevin. Say hi to everyone.
Hello, thank you for having me on.
Thank you for coming. Really appreciate it. It's really an honor for me. So we were just talking before we started about um, the biggest concern that people are having right now, and you said it was the financial concern. What is going on with, how are people going to live with all the quarantines and businesses being shut down, layoffs, all of that? How are we possibly going to get through this? And that's what I want to talk about, because that was one of my concerns, being on quarantine, not being able to go back to work until my fever's down. And that's not looking like it's going to happen, even though it's kind of ridiculous. I don't think I have COVID, but it's another condition. Um, but I can't get the other testing I need. So yeah, that's a big, huge concern. What are your thoughts about it, and what have you heard? I know I've heard that they're working on a stimulus package to pay people $1,000 a month,
Yes.
and that the check should come out April 6th is what I'm understanding.
So there's an actual date. I didn't know there was an actual date.
Yes, that's what I was listening for when I was trying to listen to you and Trump and all that.
Right.
I was trying to find out more specifics about it. I actually didn't find out much information there. It was another secondary show that I was watching that actually mentioned the date. It was actually on Fox News. So I don't know. You could take that with a grain of salt, I guess.
Right.
Sorry, my voice is raspy, but
it's all right. I can hear you fine.
Okay, good. But what have you heard, and what are you thinking?
I mean, I have just heard about the same. I didn't know there. I heard that they were talking about April, and so April 6th is 2 weeks, over 2 weeks away. So if they're mailing checks out in 2 weeks, that means people probably aren't going to get anything
for 3 weeks.
For 3 weeks, which is a long time. So this is, this has been going on for about a week since it's been in like full on, quarantine, quote unquote lockdown or whatever.
Where you are, at least. Where I am, it's slower. I mean, I'm more in the middle of the country where it's slowed down a little bit. It's a different scenario. But yeah, I want to hear about what's going on there. I talked to Whitney. Whitney's from LA. Lives in LA. So she was telling me a little bit about it.
Well, I mean, I guess since everybody has kind of decided like, okay, we're shutting everything down, and it seems to have happened very quickly, and it's been moving very fast. I mean, it was, I feel like I'm imagining things, but maybe it was just last week that they started shutting everything down.
It was, I think,
talking about canceling everything, and everything was shut off. I was actually working up until like last Thursday, about a week ago. Like, my work didn't seem to be affected.
Right.
And then I was kind of trying to work through that weekend, and I realized, okay, there's nothing happening now, or it's going to be very meager. So putting me in a position of, do I go out and scrape and burn gas for a couple of dollars, or do I just, not waste that time and waste that gas and try and do something else? But yeah, so I don't, right now, I think everybody is in kind of like what
do we do now?
What's the next step? What are we going to do? Everybody's got some people have a little bit of money. I mean, I think over the weekend, there was kind of this as I was saying on the channel, there was this kind of like vacation atmosphere, where I was anyways. People were out, taking walks, out and, shopping or going to restaurants. People were like, oh, we don't have anything to do anymore. So, but we still have a little bit of money in the bank or whatever. We still have last week's paycheck. Or,
That's scary to me. What the hell are they thinking?
Well, no, I mean, I think some people are, not paycheck. There are plenty of people that aren't living paycheck to paycheck in LA. There are a lot of people that are. There's probably more people that are, but there's plenty of people who, have some money, especially where I live. Like, people are fairly well off. It's not, I don't, the neighborhood I live in is probably solidly middle class, but, there are quite a few like well-to-do people that, trending towards upper middle. So in this neighborhood, so plenty of people have dollars, they have savings account and they can have, and maybe even some people have paychecks still coming in because of where they work, right? They weren't necessarily laid off. They just were told to go home.
Yeah. Work from home.
Or working remotely or, whatever. So I don't, I'm sure everybody's situation is different. But my situation is, seriously, I'm paycheck to paycheck, hand to mouth, struggling just to cover the bills. So this is the first week where I'm like,
what do I do?
I don't know. So
that's kind of where I'm at. I mean, I'm running. This week I have 1 week of sick pay. That's it. 1 week of sick pay. And then I'm pretty much on my own. I'm sorry about my voice. I can't help it. After 40 hours, and my job's been in contact. I've been in contact with them. My corporate office is, 2,000 miles away. They're not here. They can't physically see me. They can't do anything but talk to me on the phone and all that. And they're telling me to go get a test for COVID.
Right.
That's not happening. I'm not a celebrity, and that's something that bothers me a lot. Is like the 2 jazz team members that got tested, and now we have 1 senator that got congressman that got tested from Utah.
Yeah.
But the average person can't go out and get tested. If I got tested, I would go to work the way I feel now. I don't feel that bad. I know I sound pretty bad, but I would go to work,
Right.
But where they're telling you, this is the conflict you have. It's like where they're telling you, stay home. If you're sick at all, any sickness, just stay home, or you're messing with society. You're risking society.
Right.
And I get that. I mean, I do. And I don't want to be a bad citizen. I don't want to, get anyone sick if that's a possibility. So you're left in that conundrum. What do you do?
Right.
But yet my work, unless I have that confirmation that I have an illness like that, but they don't want you to come in if you're sick. They'll tell you to go home. With the symptoms I have, they'll just say, go home, self-isolate for 2 weeks. So what do you do with that? That's the problem.
Right.
And they're this is the other thing with the stimulus package. They're telling small businesses that they have to pay 2 weeks sick pay, right?
Yeah.
Larger corporations do not have that responsibility. So over 500 employees, they don't have that. I work for someone who has over 500 employees. So they don't have that responsibility.
And that's weird to me. Why?
That's what I want to know. Also, those are the ones, the big companies, corporations are the ones getting the bailouts.
Right.
The small businesses are getting loans.
Right.
Shouldn't it be the other way around? And why isn't anyone mentioning that?
Right.
That is pissing me off so bad. I want to scream. Well, I do scream at my TV set whenever they're talking about it.
Right.
And yeah, it's the people. And if you're bailing out the people, if you give them UBI, like the $1,000 a month that they're talking about,
right.
You're bailing out the people, the CEOs and the people who make over $1 million. They'll be fine anyway. They don't need any freaking bailout. And maybe those businesses are too big or not useful anymore because of the situation we are with the climate. not useful anymore. You know, maybe we shouldn't have cruises anymore. Maybe people shouldn't be flying all over all the time. You know, those businesses, I think, should be running at a level that supports, you know, the need.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't be propped up when it's not necessary or artificially propped up. That's just wrong. And people need to be screaming from the rooftops to not do that.
Right.
I don't know. Am I wrong? I can't be.
You're not wrong. And, you know, this is becoming really convoluted too. You know, it's hard to follow because there's so many different proposals and there's so many different, like, you know, there's so much conflicting information about, you know, when and how much and, you know.
And who.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the numbers. I'm just going to tell you the last numbers that have been stated.
Okay.
It would be $1,000 a month per individual with $500 extra per child.
Okay.
So, and this is only for, if it was families, it would be families that earn 150,000 or more,
right,
or less, and individuals that earn $75,000 or less. So that's the last that I've heard about that part of it. And it's not set in stone. In fact, it may be more. It may be less. But I doubt they're going to back away from that. I think they've already kind of nailed down the fact that they're going to have to do this, because otherwise people are going to be so angry, because when you have so many people losing their jobs and losing their incomes, you know, that would just be horrific. And Trump wants to win 2020 and he wants to be seen as a popular president, but also all the other, their constituents, the constituents under all these people are going to want that, and it would just make them very unpopular. So I think at this point they're going to have to do it. I don't know. Am I up in the night on that? I mean, they're coming up with such specific details now.
Right. I mean, I think that they have to do it, and they've already just talked about it too much to not do it. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I would consider it a done deal. Just how much, you know, fuckery is going to be involved in it is the question, right? Like how are they going to screw people on the back end with this? And what I just saw a friend post on Facebook was that they were going to take this money out of Social Security.
Oh God.
Yeah. And I was like, is that real? Is that true? I didn't have time because I literally saw this like 5 minutes before I jumped on with you. And I was like looking at the post and I was like, this isn't real, is it? This can't be real.
I don't think that they would allow that to, I mean, because of all the elderly that are especially at risk with this virus and everything. I have a hard time believing that, and I haven't heard anything like that. So, and I've been following it really close, really close.
I think if you really want to piss people off, you do something like that.
Oh yeah, you definitely would.
Say you're taking it out of Social Security. I think the pitchforks would be out with the quickness right there. But
absolutely, I think so. Should we read some comments? Have you seen any of them?
I just saw a few. I'm trying to kind of look at the numbers myself while I'm talking to you.
Okay, go ahead and do that, and I'll read some comments while you're looking that up. Vanessa Kitty, they'll pass phase 3 at a spending level that the likes this country has never seen. Yeah, I know a lot of people are worried about how much it's going to cost, but that's another thing we can get into. I mean, they've already let the cat out of the bag as far as, you know, money is just a construct and they can make it up at any time they want. They've done it with the wars all this time. So there is that. Let's see, didn't Pelosi and Chuckie go out against Trump's UBI? I
saw something about that. I saw that actually Pelosi. So some of the Democrats or some of the establishment Dems are actually undercutting.
Are we living in backwards world? Of course, they've always been backwards. So, I mean, it's just been nuts. But that's crazy. Yeah. Why would Pelosi and Chuckie not
I mean, I don't know if they're because they want. I think they don't want Trump to steal their fire, and they also, you know,
They don't want to sound like Bernie Sanders. They fought against him so hard already.
I was going to say they put themselves in a box because
yeah, they kind of.
Here's a big problem for the Democrats right now. They just completely derailed Bernie Sanders. They completely squashed his campaign. They completely pushed him out. You know, they're trying to push him out of the primaries as hard as they can. He's still not out yet. And they're trying to do it by, you know, they've been doing it the whole time by calling his proposals crazy. You know, how are you going to pay for it? They've literally, so now they're in a box.
They are in a box.
They're backed into a corner because
now they have to say, how are you going to pay for it? How are you going to pay for it?
Right. Then they're looking like complete hypocrites. You know, this is a hypocritical stance for them.
True.
And everybody, you know, everybody's going to go like, aren't you guys, wait, we're supposed to be mad at Bernie Sanders. We're supposed to be against Bernie Sanders.
We don't want to implement his policies, especially under Trump.
You know, like, it's bizarre. It's totally bizarre.
It's going to make Trump very popular, though, except for the part about the corporations. I still think both sides will be mad about that. Right. But I don't think it's going to be enough to deter them from voting for Trump over someone like Biden, especially when Tulsi stabs us in the back and endorses Biden.
Yes. And I saw that this morning and I talked about it a little bit, but I've been busy with other things today. So I haven't really, you know, listened to a lot of inside, you know, ball on what's going on with Tulsi or why she said that. I didn't really even listen to her statements about it.
It was
at the moment, I don't really care because I'm just kind of like, it just doesn't make, none of this makes sense.
It doesn't.
Everything's backward land today or, you know, or now, or this month or this year. I don't know.
I know. And I haven't had a lot of chance to follow things. I've been following the craziness after the earthquake. I know you're used to earthquakes all the time, but I'm not. I'm sorry.
Well, so I saw you mention that the other day in the chat, and that is also actually another thing that I haven't really been following. So can you tell me what happened with that?
Yesterday morning.
Yeah.
We had a 5.7 magnitude earthquake. Epicenter was about 20 miles away from me, about 1 mile away from where my husband was at the time. And it was the scariest thing I think I've ever lived through in my entire life. It was terrifying, absolutely terrifying. I thought it was a big wind. We're used to big, like 75, 80 mile an hour winds, and it's been windy lately. It sounded like a big wind gust. And that didn't go away, and then it's turned into a freight train, and then it just swung the house back and forth. It was insane. I froze. I was on the phone with somebody trying to be like, "Oh, it's windy," and then I'm like, "Oh my God, I think this is an earthquake. I think this is an earthquake." And then suddenly, this is an earthquake. I gotta go.
That's wild.
And then I just sat there like, what do I do now? I don't know what to do. I'm not trained to deal with earthquakes. I don't know how to deal with earthquakes, but it caused a lot of damage. Mobile home parks got shook off their bases. Older buildings, older apartment buildings got destroyed. Water lines burst, transformers burst, and 55,000 people were out of power all at once. Okay, so with all these displaced people on top of the coronavirus, what the hell? I mean, and this is just the beginning, because this isn't going to be the only natural disaster that happens. There's going to be one right after another, especially as we go into summer and we have fire season and drought and all these other problems. What do we do? What do we do? We got to bring in some comments, but this is important to me. It's like, I'm just thinking, just seeing all these problems stacking up. And there's people that are saying that this is fake, and that's why they're not testing people. Like, of course they're not going to test you, or the testing is false, but I'm sorry, there are real deaths. So I can't say that this virus is fake and made up. Where it comes from is a totally different hypothesis, because the government lies to us, so we are forced to come up with our own conclusions and try to find out our own answers. So I don't call it conspiracy theory. I'm just saying, but there are deaths. There are absolute deaths.
It's interesting too because, well, so I believe that it's absolutely real, right? It's happening, right? People are getting sick, people are dying. But yeah, for sure, like where it came from is up for debate or pondering or whatever. People can kind of wonder and talk about different scenarios, and some people have different, I guess, information about the possibilities of where it came from or how it developed or who developed it or why it developed, or there's a lot of different theories on that, which are all fine and well to kind of like consider, but the reality is that it actually is making people sick and it's making people die, and so people have to. So the other thing that I wanted to bring up that I thought is interesting is that actually China, we see China's response to this is like this big, huge response, but it actually was very, very slow, probably slower than the US's response. So now there's a lot of like finger pointing right now, like Trump and all the US officials are like, trying to say like China handled this badly. In the meantime, everybody's, in the country is saying that Trump is handling this badly or the government is handling this badly. But I mean, if you think about the timelines, the first cases were like in December of 2019,
right?
Into
and
January,
then they hit it,
and it started.
Chinese,
It started to climb, and then their actual full-on response was like late January, February. So there was actually 2 months where this was kind of like, what's this?
Going crazy. I've seen videos of people like, what the hell? They're having this Chinese New Year when this is, they know this is going on. There's no mask. There's no anything, no response to it. They're not telling people what's going on. People are just partying, people coming in from all over the world, and no one is telling anybody anything. I've seen those earlier videos. So
and that was absolutely happening, and there were people still traveling in and out of Wuhan and Hubei and traveling out of China. So there you have like the incubation kind of point, or what, the incubation globally of it. So their response was actually pretty slow at first, right? It was very slow. And then they were like, oh, I see this is a problem. Here we go. Like, let's make a real reaction to this. And I think I see this, that's kind of happening everywhere, right? Like that's how we react. At first you're like, nah, this isn't, oh, wait, hold on. This isn't happening. We really got to do something. So like,
I think everywhere was kind of that way. It's like, not going to happen to us. We're fine.
Right.
We did enough. And I think it's real. I think it's happening. I think we're not doing enough. And then you have people who worry about your constitutional rights. And what I have to say about this, and I'll let you comment, is your constitutional right to throw your fist ends at my nose. So, that's the thing, is everyone has constitutional rights to, sorry, COVID cough. No. At least no one's here. I mean, you have to allow everybody else their rights, and you can't interfere. So if you're making other people sick by your irresponsible actions, that's wrong too. And I don't know what's real and what's fake anymore. It's just, my mind is spinning, but I know this virus is a real thing. There's no way either that or it's a global conspiracy and we're just living in some kind of fake, I don't know, world. I don't know, but that seems a little too far for me to go, because for a global conspiracy to kill off that many people and just make it fake to build the pharmaceutical companies. Yeah, I think the pharmaceutical companies will do their best, and maybe they even freaking planted the virus. So, but how are they going to profit off the virus if they have to give it out for free because no one can afford to pay for it except for the governments? I don't know. See how confusing this gets really fast?
It does. I mean, it's very, thinking about it in that way, it can get very convoluted and complex. I think there's there's certainly number of theories on what's going on and why this is happening, and what could be the motives or the reasons or the what could be the final end game, I guess, for why somebody would maybe possibly do this on purpose or whatever. But
I twisted
mean,
my
I
brain
don't know.
trying to think of ways that happened. I
Yeah,
can't
I
think
mean,
of a good reason. I can't.
yeah, I don't. I mean, the only thing I can think of myself is that that there was an economic crash coming already, or that they're looking for a way to kind of like pull the plug on the economic system, and kind of pop the derivative bubble and take everything back down to zero. Like what
Yeah, there is
economic
that.
doomers, what the economic doomers have been talking about for the last 5 or 6 or 7 years. They keep saying like, we're going to have this huge economic meltdown, and it's going to be an excuse for the, for the globalists or whoever to institute, a global currency, to zero out all the debt, to, start from zero, to take away cash. Like, it could be.
Could be, or it could be a designer virus to get rid of the old people, because that seems who it's attacking, and not the young people. Get rid of all the boomers and all the older people that are stretching
A strain on the system.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many theories, hypotheses. I'm not going to call them conspiracy theories because I don't know, and I certainly am not going to pretend that I have all the answers. And there could well be a government. We've seen crazy things happen within the last few years. We found out how crazy our government is over the last few years.
Right.
So
well, and the other thing too is that this, this level of kind of panic, system meltdown, this situation, the last time we saw this was 9/11. And so
and we're about down to the 1800.
When 9/11 was happening, at the time, a lot of people were just kind of like in shock, and people were kind of like, what? I don't know. How do I handle this? And I was too. I was one of those people too. And then as time progressed, as time went on and things revealed themselves to people, it started looking like, wait a minute, this doesn't add up, right? So after it was, after the fact, and years after the fact, when people were kind of dissecting what happened with 9/11, that people started to, seriously raise an eyebrow at the story, at like, what, hold on, like, this is after we can see all that, everything that went on, and we can kind of put things together. The pieces don't fit together in this puzzle the way that we were told that they're supposed to fit together. So, I don't know. I think people are just dealing with this situation as it is and as it unfolds, and you have to take it at face value. I'm certainly taking it at face value.
Me too.
Because it's the only way really that you can kind of deal with it sanely and react to it, with some semblance of a level head. And not,
that's the only way anyone else will take you seriously. For instance,
right. And
my job is not going to take me serious if I say this is a conspiracy and whatever.
Right, exactly. But I do think though that, as time goes on, and after, as we can kind of see this through the backward lens, the microscope of being able to sift through what happened, I think things will be revealed. I don't know what those are. I have no idea. But I think that people, clearly some things are going to be revealed that, like, people would, say, hey, those things don't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Like, why did China take so long to respond to this? And it got here, and why did it take so long for us to respond to us? Or why did we respond in this way? Or what, once you're able to see all the pieces, defined in the rearview mirror, you can kind of like, you can look at it in a different in a different light, and kind of figure out what it was that happened, what really happened. But, for the time being, the conspiracy theories are interesting to me, and I'm all ears. Although I just,
I'll wait and listen for something that clicks and makes sense to me, but I'm not going to take it as fact. I mean, that's why I think we should change it. This is my thing lately. Change it from conspiracy theory to hypothesis. So it doesn't get that stigma of hypothesis is just, you see what's happening and you come up with
Right.
Maybe
A
this is a
possible
lie.
scenario.
Yes, exactly. We
Sure.
should definitely start changing the language because conspiracy theory has been used to discount anybody, even those who have legitimate ideas that contradict the establishment's message. So
Right.
I think that's totally valid. We should get to some of the comments. Oz, do you want to pull some of them up while we're in it before we get to another topic? Okay, so bio is probably like in Norway, the Labour Party's leader is saying all government help to business these days will be taken back from people's pensions. Those fucking wormins. Wormins?
Wormins.
I don't know what that is.
Like
What's a wormin? I've
it's like
never
a
heard that one
cross
before.
between worm and a vermin. That's pretty good.
Oh,
Vermin.
that is okay. If you
No,
look
I
at
don't
it
know. I
that way.
just made that up.
I don't know. That would work. Bio, you're hilarious. Bio's our right wing dude.
Okay.
Have to have him. The real conspiracy is the herd immunity plan. Torstein. Oh, I would love to. God, I wish Torstein would come on with me because I'd really like to talk to him about this. Because every time I think I got it nailed, he's like, "No, this is worse than this." And then, oh no,
Right.
Torstein. It's Torstein. Osama. Hi, Osama. Industrial civilization is truly disgusting. I keep forgetting to send you links for Monday Madness, Osama. I want you on again. Vanessa Kitty, the virus is reinfecting those who had it. That implies it is mutating in each host. That's the scary part, is it is mutating pretty fast. Now it's starting to attack kids, from what I understand. Like not just
Right.
infect them, but actually have symptoms where they didn't previously. So
Right.
the most potent weapon of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. Stephen Biko. Osama, you always come up with the best quotes.
Good
Osama
quote.
isn't Osama awesome? I love Osama.
Indeed.
Okay, so I was going to move on to do you think is the best or worst environmental impacts of what's going on with this virus? Let's
The
go there.
the adverse environmental impacts.
Adverse or beneficial?
Well, I was also just seeing something about a post on Instagram that the Venice Canals are all clean, and there's fish and swan, like back in the canals, which wasn't the case, I guess, a couple weeks ago. And they're attributing it to the fact that, that industrial activity is shut down, that cars aren't running, that for whatever reason. Now I don't know. Somebody actually in the comments of this post questioned whether that was real or not, and so there was a little bit of a debate on whether that actually happened or not. But I mean, obviously, people are reporting that the air is clear, the air is clean, without all the cars clogging up with the smog.
I love that.
The traffic here is certainly much less than it was. It's below 50% of what it usually is. So the skies are extremely clear. There's not a lot of planes flying. There's no, it feels like the air is clean. It looks clean. If you're traveling around LA, like you don't see the layer of smog that you usually see. So that's a benefit. I'll take that.
Even if it's short-lived. Any day. I don't think anything has changed much except for in downtown Salt Lake after the earthquake because there's been a lot of damage downtown Salt Lake, and so a lot of it has been roped off.
Okay.
And a lot of the trains have been stopped, and a lot of stuff has been stopped in downtown Salt Lake. But other than that, everybody's going about their business. Salt Lake, the restaurants and bars have been closed down. Some various places in the valley have been closed down. But other than that, people are still going shopping, going to work, doing their thing. It's slowly ratcheting down, but not to where it is like in where you are, because we don't have the cases here yet. We're just up to 79, I guess, today. But we still have. We did 1,500 tests so far, and there's like 1,500 still that are sent out. So I don't know. And most of them are just rich celebrities that go get their tests because they get them
Right.
when average people can't, like the jazz players got their, like
Right.
Oklahoma used up every single test they had for their state just
Okay.
on basketball players, and that's bullcrap.
Okay. That's weird.
No.
But yeah, sure, because they deserve testing, first.
So much more than the average person.
But yeah,
they're special.
Yeah. The elderly, the infirm, the people that don't have access or won't have access for a long time, they need to wait.
Yeah. That's the other thing. But anyway, get back to our topic of how it's affecting the environment. I am really pleased that it's stopping business as usual. I mean, every little bit of stopping business as usual that happens makes me very, 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 very happy.
Oh yeah.
When the earthquake happened and they shut down the airport here for, I don't know, it's like 5-6 hours or something, because there was some damage to the airport. I was thrilled because I love stopping business as usual. Every time that happens, I am cheering it on.
It's exciting.
I know. It's like, yes. Thank you so much for that virus or earthquake or whatever stops things from going. I mean, what have we been hoping for? It's like, stop this business as usual. Stop the civilization crusade against nature. And I sound a little bit more emotional than I am because God, my damn issue I have going on. Sorry. But yeah, it's like anything we can do to slow it down makes me very happy. And that's what I've been pushing for the whole entire time I've done my show. I've been pushing for anything to slow down the disaster, slow down the fracking, which, yes, I finally got to watch the show that you were doing the same time I did my Women's Wednesday. And you were talking about Canada and the price of fracking there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, it's I apologize. So I kind of realized I was doing a bunch of streams at the beginning of the week because I haven't been going to work and I've been like trying to fill my time and be productive. And I realized that everybody's at home and everybody's doing live streams right now. So
I know, right?
Maybe it's a little oversaturated at the moment. So.
Well, just know Mondays and Wednesdays at 6 p.m. your time.
Yeah.
Is when I always do my shows.
Right. But it's weird because I can't there's so many people that are doing live, so many shows are doing live streams.
No, Jimmy Dore always crashes my party.
I can't
always.
I can't keep it straight. So so because of that, because I've realized that it's kind of an oversaturation right now, I think maybe I'll just go back to one good stream in the morning, what I've been doing anyways for,
I love your streams. So, I love your streams. I don't want you to stop, and I can't get enough. Oh, no, I'll watch it even after you're done. Like when I'm done, I'll go back and watch it.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I don't want to stop doing them either. I don't know if people can take 2 streams a day.
I know, but my views went down to 13 because of you and Jimmy Dore.
Right. I mean, I like doing the streams. I think that people just don't have the time in their day. There's so much going on.
Yeah.
So many YouTubers out there doing their thing. It's, people don't have time in their day to watch all the streams. So it's you kind of have to, whatever. I'm going to just try and be a little more surgical with my streams. But
I do 3 a week generally. I try to do 3 a week if I can. Monday, Wednesday, and then my special Friday, interview. Right? Sometimes I do Freak Out Friday. That's usually my 3rd one, but it depends on what interview I get and what time.
Right.
So, the more we work together and work around it, we can do as many as we want as long as our crew is settled.
Right. Well, yeah, and that's the other thing. It's just hard to kind of, I'm trying to figure out how to not run into everybody else's streams.
I know.
So that's just. Kind of the reality of what's going on. I mean, even on Facebook and Instagram, there's just wall-to-wall streams going on, live streams going on Facebook and Instagram.
It's not that big a deal either. People that were never
doing streams before are you know what? I'm super bored. I'm going to do a live stream. Here we go.
I think you're right. Oz says we like 2 streams from you guys.
Right.
I do like as many streams as you can pump out. There's certain people
Thank you.
Certain people that I watch that I will, it doesn't matter if I don't catch their live stream, I'll go back and watch it.
Right.
And I look for those, and you and Sandy are, probably my top. Like, I have to go back and watch. If I miss your
Yeah.
lives, I will go back and watch the whole live stream.
Yeah.
And of course there's always, Sam who does his, and they're never live, but so you can watch them whenever.
Right.
Osama, you guys are worth, I I think that's 1 billion or 1 trillion. I can't tell. That's too many zeros. Jimmy Doors.
We'll call that a trillion.
Osama, we love you so much. Okay, I'm speaking for you, Kevin, but I know you love him. Sandy's here. Sandy's here.
All right.
Yay. Hi, Sandy.
What's up?
We love Sandy. Okay, I'm speaking for you again. But
You
you have to love Sandy.
That's hilarious. No, that's so funny. Actual Michael Tracy too. Michael Tracy is such a huge Tulsi stan that I'm like, what are they going to say about this? Because they've been
I know. Oh yeah, we should read the comment.
Don't ever talk bad about Tulsi. Tulsi is the best. Oh, she drops out in backspite.
I know. I was a big Tulsi fan too. Jimmy and Nico, I'm going to read her comments so they know what you're responding to. Sandy says Jimmy and Nico must be freaking out over Tulsi. What will they do now? I'm freaking out. Okay. And I already watched Jimmy's video, and yeah, he's pissed. And he holds everyone to account. When he'll trust them till they screw him. And
what a stab in the progressive back. Like, just
it was, yeah. I mean, like I said on your show in the chat, Tulsi's dead to me now. She's dead to me.
Well, I don't know if she's dead to me, but just like, where's the spine in that?
There's no spine. There's no spine in that. She's dead to me. I can't handle it. She's dead to me. I'm done. The background looks nice. She says, we have the bears for you. I don't know.
The bears.
Yeah, you can see the bears. Isn't that cool? I love the bears.
Nice. Yeah.
Also, thank you, Sandy. But yeah.
It's just it's weird times. Kevin Hester says brace for supply chain collapse. I'm reading the comments for you. Sorry.
No, you go ahead. You read them whenever you want. Hi, Kevin Hester. I didn't even notice he was.
Screen, so I'm reading them. So.
Hi. Yeah, you are more than welcome to read any of them.
I didn't mean to do that.
No. I encourage people to read them on my show. So right. Yeah, any of them that you see, you read them. I was busy looking at the chat in the thing. So if he posts it and I don't see it, go ahead and read it. I'm just
reading. It's big. It's really big on my screen.
But hi, Kevin. We'll see you on. I've been telling people that. Well, Daniel Gary, who sent me a message about all kinds of things. Daniel Gary is kind of one of my people that send me all kinds of information. He's also a Utah, so I was telling him about Kevin Hester and you doing an interview tomorrow, right?
Yeah, that should be fun, and should be interesting because there's a lot to cover.
Yeah, with the dimming. He was asking Guy McPherson about the dimming, is what he was emailing me about, and so I'm like, well, Kevin Hester's the next best thing to Guy McPherson, and Kevin from Blackbear News is interviewing Kevin Hester.
Sorry, Kevin. I'm just messing with you.
Kevin. Oh my gosh, Kevin. You guys, too many freaking Kevins. Like, there's too many Chris's on this planet. Whatever.
Well, what was it we were just talking about? Something happened. Something came across my brain, and I just forgot what it was already. No, but the other thing that's happening, I think, with people is that there's also not just an overwhelming amount of information and YouTubers and live streamers out there. There's just a glut of information right now. I think people are burned out a little bit from the overwhelmingness of what's going on. Kevin squared. Sorry, I had to read that one.
That was good.
So
that was good.
There's an overwhelming glut of like stuff going on, and like, it's all just like.
I definitely feel that way.
I think people are like feeling like, I can't, like maybe I need a break from this information. Maybe I need to take a walk. Maybe I need to just, zone out and veg out and watch some Netflix, or maybe, read a book.
Gardening break.
Gardening break. Something, right?
Do the gardening break. That's what I do. I take the gardening break.
And that's probably the best one too. I think I'm going to be doing some of that. It's spring. We're getting lots of rain, so I think I'm going to put some seeds in the ground and try and get some sprouts going.
There you go.
I mean, it's March and all. It's almost April.
Yeah, it's time.
Yeah.
You could have started in February where you live, couldn't you?
Well, yeah, but actually, so we've been getting crazy weather. It actually got cold enough the other night for there to be ice on my car.
Oh my gosh.
So it was, it was in the 30s 2 nights ago. So it's not a good time to plant. That's the thing. The weather is so weird.
Oh, like, weather weirding, weather
this
wilding.
happened last year. In like February, I was like, okay, let's go. I'm going to plant a bunch of seeds. And we got this like cold snap and we got this rainy snap. And it just basically killed everything that I planted. Almost everything. Nothing survived. So I had to start over again. So I'm kind of like, should I go? Should I go now? Should I do it now? No. Okay. I don't know. So I'm kind of hanging back a little bit.
I've had some plants hardening off on the deck and I lost several seedlings. So
yeah,
it was sad. Because
it might be a little
dipping
early.
down into the 30s.
Right.
And that's, I don't know. It's so weird. And I'm expecting it to get warmer. So I brought the rest of them in to save them. And I'm just waiting for it to get consistently in the 40s. Netflix Altered Carbon.
Is it a movie or a show?
I don't know.
It's a series. It's a series. It's kind of on the lines of Blade Runner. So for this particular group, they'd appreciate, 300 years in the future in a dystopian society. It's really quite well done. There's a lot of nudity in it though.
Awesome.
There's nudity?
Oh yay, the guys will love it. The guys will love it. Thank you, Oz.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Oz. The voice from behind the curtain is our wonderful Oz, in case you didn't know. He's awesome. Let's see, Chris, it was early. I have my indoor greenhouse and Doug has his big one. I feel painful spring. Yeah, I mean, it's going to go back and forth. It was horrible at the end of the season last year. I had to hurry up and pull everything like my green tomatoes. I had tons of green tomatoes. It was so early. We had an early frost that was coming, and I had to pull every single green tomato off my bushes, and I had a bunch of them. But I canned them, and I had salsa verde for days. So that was helpful. Learn to can. Another great skill to learn while you're in quarantine. And then there's always quarantinis. Right. Which can be just a vitamin C fizzy in a drink. There's a quarantini if you don't drink actual alcohol.
Yeah,
just a tip.
Okay, good tip. Well, I mean, I've actually learned to plant most of my stuff in pots. Like I just do that as a habit now. So I don't plant anything into the ground immediately. So I grow some sprouts and I maybe grow some things in pots so that I can move them around, move them inside, move them into the sun, move them in shade.
A lot of mine's in pots too. Yeah.
Because the other thing that happens is it's so hot. The sun is so hot here during the summer that it will just fry my plants. Like one hot afternoon will just take out all my plants. So if it gets too hot, I have to move everything into the shade or move it to another part of the yard. It's just difficult. Anytime I plant something into the ground, it's super difficult.
Yeah, I know. Same here. CB, buddy, has beans, kale up growing well. That's good.
Nice.
I don't know where you're at.
He's where it's warm in West Virginia.
Oh, okay. Well, I planted my radishes, my Swiss chard, cabbage, spinach, all that early stuff, my peas. Nice. That's all outside right now. Yeah. I just planted that in the ground. So should be good. Everything else I have let me show you my cucumbers. I'm so proud of my cucumbers from seed. Look at these.
Oh yeah, those are looking good. Yeah, definitely.
I can't put those out to harden yet because they're a little sensitive.
Right.
But they'll be hardening off next week and probably be planted the week after that. So, okay, I missed some comments. Okay, Hans Asperger. I thought it was the bear talking. Wait.
Is that a bear?
Is that a bear? Must be your beard. When a bear talks, you listen. Absolutely. Okay, there was another comment. Kevin has promised us all a new live stream. What? Torstein?
There was no such promise. No such deal was made.
Make that clear. Oh, Torstein. He's always good for a laugh anyways. We're getting older and so much work to do, but I need the garden. You do need the garden, and I still think you need chickens. Seriously.
Chickens. Okay. I actually want some goats.
Really? Goats are hard. Goats are hard.
Are they?
They're hard to keep contained.
And
I know.
Dirty goats. Ugh.
I love goats.
They give you milk. I love goat milk very much.
I know. They're great if you can keep them contained, but you really need tall fences.
I have tall fences.
Secure fences.
I have
that. I've had them jump over 6-foot fences.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
They are really hard to contain. And I had really bad luck with goats, but chickens are super easy. I don't care who you are. Chickens are easy to take care of. They're a hell of a lot easier than a garden, and you get eggs.
You get eggs, which yes. I like eggs. I'll take eggs.
I love my chickens. I love our eggs. And we have 5 chickens, and we get enough eggs to feed us. And we're giving away dozens of eggs to our neighbors. So, yeah. I mean, we get at least 5 eggs a day. And 5 chickens are so easy to take care of. 5 chickens are easy. If you can take care of a garden, you can take care of chickens any day. I'd
have to keep them away from my dog, though. I have this dog.
That can be an issue. Just build a coop and keep them in the coop.
She's very what's the word?
Aggressive. Okay, let me read this comment and I'll tell you about my dog and the chickens. Yeah, I have seeds. Nothing is started
She's
yet.
a little bit of a sneak, and she likes to chew things. When I'm not looking.
Like chickens?
No, I mean she chews my plants. She chews things that are growing. And she would love to chase some chickens around. Absolutely.
Oh man, my dog Willie, the new one, he chases everything, especially the geese. But we have a separate fenced-in area for the dogs.
Right.
So, but he gets out once in a while, and then it's a nightmare trying to catch him. And he goes after the rabbits. The rabbits are great too, by the way, and really easy to take care of. And their manure is great fertilizer. You don't even have to compost it before you put it in.
Okay.
Rabbits are fantastic. Okay, so Sandy says, I have seeds. Nothing has started yet. We are still using firewood, and Doug is in the woods every weekend splitting wood for next year. Tornado wood on 100 acres. Wow, that sounds like a lot of work to me. Doug says, I can't handle chickens. Doug is wrong. You can handle chickens. I'm sorry. You can handle chickens. If you can do dishes, you can handle chickens because dishes are way harder than chickens. I'll take chickens over dishes any day. Any day. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't eat meat, so.
Well, they're not for meat.
But I eat dairy though, so I would like eggs and milk. So if I had some chickens and some goats.
There you go.
My sister had goats. I've taken care of goats. I know about goats.
So okay, we've had a really hard time
at 5 o'clock in the morning. I know about goats.
Okay, good. Then you know how hard it is to contain them. But 6 feet.
They're wild, but they're also fun. They're
a blast.
Yeah. They're also goats. Really loud too. They're loud.
They're loud and they like to jump on your cars if they have the ability.
That's true.
They do like to jump on anything they can jump on.
Gotato.
I get the gotato cross between goats and tomatoes. It's easier to contain.
All right.
Oh, Torstein. Your sense of humor. Oh my goodness. Okay, what time?
I may have to run off pretty soon.
Yeah, we're almost at an hour. I was just going to say we're going to have to close this out. Do you have any last thoughts? And we'll read a couple more comments. So get your last comments out there. I know we missed a bunch, but we got too busy in our conversation to read all the comments. I'm sorry. But it's a special guest. It's Kevin from Black Bear News. So I have nightmares about internet crashing.
I do too.
I know.
Then what do you do?
How do I look up I'm making my own bread or sourdough starter right now.
Oh, nice.
And
excellent.
I've done it before and it works fantastic.
That sounds great.
That's the way they used to do it. And I want to remember how to do it. So
I'd like to
I'm
do
doing
that
it now
myself.
before the internet goes down. It's so easy, and all you need is flour and water. That's it.
I got those. I got those things.
Yeah, then you can do it. Look it up on YouTube. There's lots and lots of.
I will do that.
Yeah, so I'm starting that right now.
All right.
Good thing to learn. Now I need to learn how to make homemade mozzarella. I need to find unpasteurized milk. I have no idea where you find unpasteurized milk. Do you?
Goats.
Goats. There you go. Goats. If we only had goats. Dang it.
Yep. Well, my sister actually used to have a bit of a farm, and she had, goats, pigs, chickens. And I have to say that that was back when I was eating meat, and the bacon she got from the pigs was probably the most delicious bacon I've ever eaten in my life. They actually used to kill some of the goats and eat them.
Oh, that would make me sad.
It was tasty. I know it's a little sad, but it was. I don't eat animals anymore, but it's pretty awesome to have like an unlimited supply of eggs and milk.
Yeah, that part I can.
And I'd love to make my own cheese. I
would love to. I'm a cheese fanatic. I would love to be able to make my own cheese.
And if I could just stop buying cheese, that would be amazing.
I know, right? If you could just make your own, especially mozzarella, one of my favorite. Sandy says, Environmental Coffee House, I get eggs from my neighbor, goat's milk from her once in a while. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. I'm sure someone here in my neighborhood has goats.
Oh, CB.
Milk. CB. Okay, yeah, let's read the last few comments and let you get out of here. I am so happy you came on, Kevin.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Anytime. So lovely show. Thank you, Sandy. So this stream had an ad for joining the Norwegian Army. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. That's sad. That's nothing I promote. Just because there's an ad does not mean I endorse it. Okay. Osama, thumbs up, everyone. Yes, please give the thumbs up if you could. That always helps. Buddy, tomorrow making homemade ice cream. Yum. I've done that before when I was a kid. Sandy says, Kevin, you are too cute. I've got those things. Environmental Coffee House. Sandy, my Amish. Oh, wait. You already has pasteurized milk, but they can't sell unpasteurized. Yeah, that's the problem. Is a lot of places you can't get that. So I think that's rude.
Of non-pasteurized, Amish neighbors, yeah. They can't
sell it. Yeah, why? It's illegal to sell it because it's not pasteurized.
It's not pasteurized, right?
That's a thing, and I think that's wrong.
Right.
Chris put you on the phone with Doug. You tell him I need chickens. I will. You do that. I'll talk to Doug. I'll convince him. That's not right. Cindy Seeley, thank you. No, thank you, Cindy Seeley. Thank you for coming. Did I miss any last Hounds Asperger? Good night to you as well. Thank you for coming. All right, guys. I guess that's about it. Thank you again, Kevin. And
yeah,
when's your next? Oh, your Kevin Hester interview. When do you think you'll post that?
Tomorrow, probably late morning, early afternoon. But yeah, I'm going to see if I can do it live stream it.
Oh, that would be cool if it was live.
It would be cool. I just haven't figured it out yet. So I don't know. And I don't know if I want to experiment tomorrow, but we'll see. I'm going to see if I can work it out.
Well, Oz might be willing to help you out there.
Well, I may hit you up for some pointers, but if I can't work it out, then, we'll just record it and you'll see it tomorrow.
Okay. So watch out for Kevin Hester.
11 or noon-ish.
Kevin Squared tomorrow sometime.
Kevin Squared happening tomorrow.
Yes,
come on through.
Absolutely. I'm gonna get fat just being home. Love to cook. I love to cook too. That's the problem. I really love to cook, so I'll probably get fat being home too because I'll cook a lot. Less sourdough stuff. All right, guys. Have a good evening. We will see you for sure for Monday Madness. If not tomorrow, maybe I might pop in to do something. We'll see. Have a good evening. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Thanks, Oz, for all your help.
Have a good night.
All right. Peace, everyone.